Hey everyone, this is Nation of Decay, and we're back with a Dead Mall video. If you guys have ever seen Dan Bell's Dead Mall series, this is basically just kind of my style of it, my version of it, because I really wanted to film at this mall. This is the Martinsburg Mall in Martinsburg, West Virginia, and it was recently bought and renamed to the Foxcroft Town Center at Martinsburg in an attempt to revitalize it. It's not really working. It's actually getting a lot worse than it was before. The mall opened up in 1991. At the time, many thought the new mall would be a huge success. It never really turned out that way. It never had any of the big stores at the time. It had some big stores, but they didn't have anything that really drew people in, like many of the other surrounding malls. They were concerned about the mall, how successful it would be. Crown American was the developer of the mall, and it was anchored by Walmart, Sears, JCPenney's, and Hess. The Hess store is now Bon-Ton, and the mall at the time was the biggest in terms or area, complete with an indoor golf course, a few carnival rides, a food court, but interesting, no movie theaters. Which there actually is a movie theater, but it's not attached to the mall itself. It's actually right off of the mall, within just walking or driving distance, Regal Cinemas. The mall itself was big enough to hold 100 plus stores, and even included a special opening for a possible new anchor. And today, there's on the Dead Mall website, it says about 50 stores remain. Now there's probably 10, maybe less than that actually. Now there's probably maybe 7 or 8 stores left in this entire mall. You can be the judge of that. So right now we're approaching the wing that has JCPenney's, and that was a Radio Shack. So that's what you're looking at right there. And when that closed up, they pretty much just sold everything. The store display models, the seating, the tables. I mean, they sold everything out of there. The actual things that the phone display sat on, the shelvings, they sold everything out of there. And then it just kind of closed down. They stayed open until everything was gone. Like, every single thing had to be gone before they closed. And JCPenney's entrance is actually now currently closed off from the rest of the mall on this side. And you can see it's pretty just empty. It's just empty on this side because it is closed off. And I think they closed that off a couple years back. And then you can see that it still shows that it was the Martinsburg Mall, because they haven't really changed much. They just changed the name and then just stuck it to a new sign and the doors. And then there's a little play area that they put in there for the original intentions were for people coming out of JCPenney's with their kids could come over there and play in it, but nobody really uses it anymore because Radio Shack and JCPenney's, Radio Shack's gone, JCPenney's is just closed off. They use that little area for events, at least they used to, which is kind of cool. It's like a little pyramid type thing. And then you'll hear the arcade, you can see it over there, which it looks like there's some stores over in this section, but a lot of them are gone. The food court only has 2 places as of right now to eat in, and one of those is getting ready to leave. You can see this phone place that we're coming up to was open last time I was actually inside of the mall. So this place right here was actually named after a kids' TV show, and it's been several hot dog places over the years, but it's changed hands, and then this place didn't stay open more than a week. And now we're going on to the food court here, and you can see they advertised the Journal, and then of course that wide open space, and the only place still open that's an actual get your food and sit down in the food court is that one with the neon. And then they left all the signs, the menus up, but this place has been closed for a while. And like I said, it only stayed open for a week. And then there was a Stir Fry 88, which got closed down because they were caught not cleaning. And you have All of the trees in this place, by the way, are actually real. You can see there's trash stuck up in the by the windows up there, and then the view down the mall. And then there was another subway. There was a subway over there, and there's several places where you see white spots on the, like, huge white spots on the walls. That's where stores were supposed to go in that never did make it into the mall. And then there's a diner over there which has neon on it also. And then there's another one of those mall planters that's real. And then the stir fry. And not much of the mall has changed since it was built, as far as decor wise. So we're approaching another store up here. You can see like a bath fitter. There used to be a couple of those in there. They're gone now. The massage chairs. And then to the right of me is a store called Country Treasures, and it recently went out of business, like overnight. Like they just moved everything out at night and they were gone the next day. And that store has been open since the mall opened, I believe. And then Hibbett Sports has been in there for a long time. And but it's really dead. I also want to apologize for some of the shakiness in this video and the fact that there's no mall sounds, ambient mall sounds on this part, because one, my microphone and my camera came disconnected and I didn't realize it, and two, I had my VR turned off, which is basically stabilization on my camera. Without me knowing it, somehow that switch got flipped, and so it was a little bit unstable, but I'm going to try and stabilize it as much as I can. So I just want to apologize for that. So we're now approaching what was a jewelry store, and this has been closed for probably 7 years now. Maybe not as long, probably around 7 years now. And it used to have plastic hanging in front of it, but they took it down. So now we're approaching what used to be an As Seen on TV store, then turned into a paint place, then turned into another paint place, and is now a really low budget, crappy looking used bookstore. And that was a Hallmark. That's been in there since the mall started, and they went out of business last year, I believe, the beginning of last year, maybe end of the year before last. They're using it as some type of meeting room now. Other than that, though, yeah, it's just empty on this end. So this was the Sears Wing, which recently got torn down, or not recently, this got torn down back in 2014, 2013 maybe. And everything on this end is pretty much gone, is going. But Sears closed in probably 2012, early 2013, and maybe before that. It's been a long time. I can't even remember, but they closed down and they tore it down and then didn't bother to put up a new wall. And now they're dividing that off into small businesses, and there's another mattress store, a Chili's, and another shopping area over there, along with a Panera Bread and an Olive Garden. So they're kind of all jumbled up in what used to be the Sears space. There was an eye place which was going to get turned into a tattoo place, but it didn't happen because the owner of a mall nearby bought this and planned on revitalizing it like he did the other mall he owned, and it just didn't happen. He ended up selling it. And there's just these people taking walks through the mall. They're just using the mall to go on air-conditioned walks, which I'll get to another thing about that in a second. So this is the point where I got audio back, and we're going back towards the other wing, and then I obviously did not focus it correctly. But about air conditioning, a lot of these stores in this mall just will periodically not have air conditioning, and when they complain about it, they're told to get over it or get out, basically. And their rent is not lowered because of it. It's actually really high. So the mall actually does have an indoor mini golf course, and it's been here since the mall opened, and it's actually pretty cool. But I can't believe it hasn't gone into business yet, honestly. So you can actually see on my right where the flag is and all. Those were supposed to be all store spaces that never got filled since the mall was built. They've always been empty. And then they were eventually turned into bathrooms, and part of those were supposed to be food places too, but like I said, they just never got filled up.